We made this.
Welcome to the Starlight Ballroom. Hey!
Hello and welcome to Shipwrecked and Comatose, the podcast about Red Dwarf here on the We Made This podcast network. It's smegging Christmas, so we're bringing you a very special show. We've not got two, we've not got three, we've not got four. We've got all five of the hosts in the studio today. My name's Mark. Hello. Hello, Kurt.
Hello. Merry Christmas.
Hello, Colin.
Hello. Happy October.
Hello, Carl.
Merry Christmas. Hello, everybody.
And hello, Matt.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
We are all feeling festive, and we've got a lot of weird and wonderful Red Dwarf stuff to go through. We are going to start with Secret Santa. Now, I know it's an audio medium, and we're all sat in our living rooms in different parts of the country. So what we've decided we're going to do is we are going to have a Secret Santa done online, which we've done. You know those things where you can put people's names in and it picks a Secret Santa. So everyone's got a Secret Santa they have to buy for. You've got unlimited budget, so you can buy whatever you like with however much money for whoever you got. But it has to be a gift that you can find in the Red Dwarf Universe. Does anyone want to go first?
No.
That's
No
you,
one wants
Colin.
to go
Hello,
first.
Colin. Hello, Colin. Who did
Hello.
you get and what did you buy for them?
I got Mr. Latham for my person what to get our present for. So unlimited budget, yeah. So
Yep.
I utilised my unlimited budget to build a time machine, and got in this time machine and went through to April in 2189. Got up at 4:00 in the morning, went to Head Records in Leamington Spa, which still exists, thankfully, and waited for the 2189 record store day to open, and managed to pick up one of the really limited edition copies of Om by Smeg and the Heads, which was released on limited 7-inch lager and vindaloo coloured splatter vinyl. So, I thought you'd dig that, Matt.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, that's going to be an interesting episode of Pick a Disc. I wonder if does the. I'm assuming that's the edition that has the vintage smell on the vinyl as well, so it doesn't smell.
Oh yeah,
like
it's scratch and sniff, yeah.
Oh, awesome! Particularly when the needle scratching goes through the grooves, and
It's a unique experience. It's got to be said.
Brilliant. Do you want to go next, Matt, seeing as you've got your gift now?
well, yes, and I'm going to retroactively try and figure out how to fit the gift into the Red Dwarf Universe because I completely missed that aspect of the.
What's the podcast about, Matt?
Fart arsing about a better TV show. That's what. Which is going to be interesting because I got Mark,
Ooh.
and I'm going to go on the fly and try and put this into that because it's a book, but it's the cat version of the book, so you have to sniff the
Brilliant.
thing.
More scratch and sniff.
Yes, more scratch and sniff. But what I'm going to do is I don't want to mention it because I'm going to send the Amazon link through to the chat. So if Mark can see the chat and I want to hear his reaction.
You bought me a picture book of how to be a cat in Cats.
Yes.
I like the fact that it's written in the cat language, so only cats who already are cats and know how to be a cat can read it, therefore making it completely redundant.
Let's learn how.
I
I'm sure
see it as a
it'll be fine.
self-help book.
I suppose that makes it my go. And I got Carl. And like Colin and Matt, he presents a music podcast on the We Made This Podcast network. So I decided I'd get him the classics. So I got him Mozart, Mendelssohn and Motorhead.
Oh, fantastic.
I also got you a copy of Reggie Wilson Plays the Lift Music Classics and Funking Up Wagner and Reggie Dixon's Tango Treats.
Could you not get hold of Pop Goes Delius?
No, I couldn't. I looked and I couldn't find it. And I bought Sounds of the Supermarket 20 shopping grates, but I kept that for myself.
Oh, thank you very much, Mark. I will be dancing around the tree to funking up Wagner.
So it's your turn, Carl. Who did you get?
I got Kurt.
Yo.
So what I did, as we said, that with money not being an object here, is I got Kurt an all-expenses-paid trip to the Legion Cyber Park. Now, the owner's a little bit weird, strange tasting clothes, but quite diligent. It's formed by some of the greatest minds in the 23rd century. Your room's catered to your exact taste upon your arrival. The catering is fantastic, especially if you can use Hovian Boogle hoops, Mercurian boomerang spoons, and Mimosian antimatter chopsticks. And you can go to any time period you want, indulge in any fantasy you wish, with any persons you desire, and a minibar. And the best bit about all this is I got it written off as expenses from the We Made This account.
We're going to have to increase the Patreon, people.
Do we have a Patreon?
No.
Oh, we need one. We've overspent.
We need one after that.
Kurt, it's your go. Who did you get?
I, obviously, if you think about it, got Colin.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
And Colin, I didn't spend any money. I just went, sorry.
Unlimited budget and you spent nothing?
Yeah,
Oh, you tight.
Spelt now. I just went into the photography development studio and got some development fluid and a negative for Woodstock from the 15th of August 1969. That's what I got you.
I'm fine with that. You don't need to spend anything. I'm going to be watching Hendrix. Awesome.
To be fair, Carl, Kurt, I think you probably should have gone for the 1999 one.
Yes.
I could
actually, slightly less disastrous at the 69 one. But
well, I did think about
giving
you a chance to go to Live 8, but I decided against that.
Yeah,
but yeah, so that was mine. Yeah, so just some development
reunion.
fluid. That's all you need. A bit of development fluid. It's the thought
Awesome.
that counts.
It is indeed. Thank you very much.
It's all right. Merry Christmas.
Merry October.
I had no idea whether that idea would work, and I'm really pleased with my gift. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah.
Mine's unlimited. Mine's like the ultimate mod. Love it.
Mine's starting to smell, but
The one thing you want at Christmas is good telly, and Red Dwarf has not provided that for us. We have all watched the grand total of around 3.5 minutes of Red Christmas. Red Christmas is from a defunct mobile app in around 2007. So the only way you can watch it now is on YouTube in really shit quality. And there are 2 1-minute episodes, which are incredibly short. And at the time, there had been no Red Dwarf for 8 years. So I think it was kind of presented to a very desperate fandom. Thinking back, at that time, did any of you see Red Christmas? Or if you hadn't, would you have wanted to if you'd have heard of it?
If I have seen it, I've completely wiped it from my memory.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
same.
Yeah, I'd have watched it at the time, probably, but then not necessarily rewatched it.
No, I don't remember hearing about it at all when it came out. What, did you say it came out as part of an app?
Yeah, so 5 for 5, none of us downloaded the Red Dwarf app. Shit.
No.
I didn't even know there was one.
I didn't know there was an app.
Well, it doesn't exist anymore. So, like I say, you can't access it through the app. You have to watch it via
What
grainy
phone?
YouTube.
What phone would have been out in 2007? That's my question.
2007?
Really early Sony Ericsson.
Yeah.
The iPhone was the iPhone out in 2007.
Nokia. I had a Nokia N95 at the time. That was my phone.
Well, the first iPhone was in June 2007.
I think I had something called an SPV, which was a weird-ass attempt by Microsoft to basically give you a computer in your pocket. and it was shite.
Well, the Nokia N95 had it was a flip up phone because obviously it was 8-9 years after Matrix, but it had a little flip up like keyboard underneath it. I think they were trying to get the BlackBerry market. And
Red Christmas is so bad we'd rather talk about phones from 14 years ago.
But I think you've got to remember that when you've got a desperate fandom, I mean, the example I will always go to is Doctor Who, because I love Doctor Who. And the 1995 film, everyone wanted it to be great. And it was okay. And then, does anyone know what Dimensions in Time is?
Yes. I know what Dimensions in Time is.
It's wretched. It was a Children in Need Doctor Who special years after we'd had Doctor Who. And
was that the 3D one?
Yes, it was.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And people, but I remember as a massive Doctor Who fan whose interest didn't wane, I was desperate for Dimensions in Time. And I convinced myself it was good when I watched it, even though it was shite. And I wonder whether there's any Red Dwarf fans out there that watched this at the time, maybe want to get in touch with us and tell us what their feelings were when this was released as like a mobile special thing. It must have been a hell of a novelty, really.
It could be that when people saw it, because it's animated, isn't it? So when people saw it, they thought, oh, maybe this is the way forward. Red Dwarf's going animated, but it's Flash animation, isn't it? So it's really quite. I mean, for 2007, I can imagine it's fantastic, but it doesn't hold up.
Yeah, but then again, I think if it was because it's Flash, it's probably vector graphics. So if you had the original Flash file and put it onto a big screen, it would have been a decent quality. Whereas we kind of watched it on like a 144p screen. Yeah.
Well, that's how you watch rare Red Dwarf things. If you've watched the US pilots, the only way to watch it is in 144p.
Even that's in a better quality than that.
I thought the only way to watch it was not.
If only there wasn't 2 episodes that really went against that theory.
We did discuss it quite in depth, and I don't want to ever discuss it again.
What, the Red Dwarf US pilot, Mark? You don't want to talk about
wretched.
You don't want to talk about the US Red Dwarf pilot, yeah? Okay. That's one round I have to delete later on.
As long as if Jerry Ryan's in the quiz, I'm quite happy.
So this thing, Red Christmas, it is a cute little anomaly, and I'm glad it exists. And they got back, after 8 years, Robert Llewellyn and Chris Barry to do the voices. And at some point, Lister says like 2 words, and I think that's Chris Barry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Craig Charles was involved.
On the strength of this, do we think a Red Dwarf animated series would have worked?
Then, no.
There's potential for it to be great, but not based on this.
No, I think not in this style. But is there any research on about who animated it, who funded it? Because I'm pretty sure that an actual animated Red Dwarf would have had a bit more money and, well, be about 16 times longer.
Should we do this? Should we go through it?
We can do.
Why not?
All right, so it starts with a soundbite of the theme, just a few seconds, and there's a shot of Red Dwarf with Santa flying past. My immediate response was, well, that's an animated GIF. Then we're inside Red Dwarf's corridors, and Santa's legs come out of the air ducts, and he pops out onto a corridor. And the animation didn't get any better. Feel free to chip in and bitch as much as you like, boys.
I can't withstand the energy.
I'm biding my time.
Okay, so Crichton and Rimmer are in the control room, and it's a shot of their faces from behind a screen, which, okay, that looked okay. And there's an intruder, and Rimmer, of course, thinks that it's an alien. He also detects the reindeers, and Rimmer thinks that they're demons for some reason. We've never had demons referred to in Red Dwarf, right?
Just Angels and Demons, the episode, but no.
Yeah, it was an episode title. It's never by name mentioned by a character.
No.
It just seems like a really odd thing, the aliens thing, is very, very Red Dwarf, very established as Rimmer.
Yeah.
But what the fuck is this demon shite?
It would be... Rimmer, in character, would say aliens and other aliens. He thinks everything is aliens.
Either that or he was just mixing up his neuroses. We don't know what's happened in the 8 years of gulf between the end of Series 8 and...
Not joke writing. That's what happened in the 8 years.
Clearly.
Not writing any jokes.
Must have lost the joke book.
So Rimmer and Crichton panic and they decide to eject the alien into space. Then Crichton spots it's Santa as he floats past the porthole. End of episode 1. There was one gag, and it wasn't funny. It was about a bulbous sack.
Yeah.
It's not the best.
No.
We're really struggling here. Yeah,
Shall we move on to episode 2?
I'm glad we've got to the cliffhanger, put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, episode 2. Santa's reindeer pull a cracker and they're sat with the Red Dwarf crew.
Playing charades.
Yes, Rudolph is doing charades and Rimmer and Lister are making guesses. And that's not Craig Charles's voice.
No.
I mean, Chris Barry does do a good rendition of Craig Charles's voice. If you've heard, I think it's Last Human, isn't it? He does the audio book for. He does do it quite well all the way through. But yeah, it's still very noticeable. It's not Craig Charles.
Yeah, and he did it in the episode where he covered Dad as well, in the script read as well.
Santa flies past the window and guesses Armageddon as the correct answer to...
I believe the joke is that he guesses Armageddon. But
Yeah.
shit.
He's congratulated by Crichton, the end. I didn't realise that it was possible for the second episode to be less funny than the first one.
Yep.
Right, okay, hands up. Has anybody got anything positive to say about this other than the animation was kind of cute?
It's very short.
Yeah, that is a positive.
I don't feel I've missed out on anything by the fact I've not watched it.
You didn't watch it?
No, I completely forgot to watch it.
Mate, don't watch it.
Wait,
Okay, here's another question that might set us on a slightly different tangent, unless you want to. That I've just suddenly thought about. What would make a good Christmas episode of Red Dwarf?
Not
Other than
this.
Would a Christmas episode work in the Red Dwarf universe?
Yeah, I'd say it would. I mean, I would have thought that Christmas wouldn't have worked in the Doctor Who universe until they started doing the one since the 2005 sort of return. It's definitely doable.
Yeah, some of the Doctor Who ones have been great.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even the one with Nick Frost as Santa, when that happened, I was like, well, this is going to be rubbish. But then when they explained it, was like, that works. And I think Red Dwarf has got enough scope to do that. But from what you've told me and from what I've looked at here, it's not this.
Yeah, they could land on a planet a little bit like the one in Meltdown with all the wax like theme park type thing, but Christmas themed.
Well, with that episode in itself, they met Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have, didn't they? Yeah.
You're right.
They could do some kind of enthusiastic Lister tries to convince humbug Rimmer to have a nice time and Cat gets confused, couldn't they?
You could do It's a Wonderful Life with what happened if Lister never went on board the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And obviously thematic with the fact that it's Lister's favourite film.
Mm.
And also as well, can you imagine the cat with the Christmas tree?
Hey, Dave, hit us up. We've got ideas for you.
Imagine the cat, just the costuming on that for the cat would be fantastic.
I could just imagine him getting all of the Christmas presents going, this is mine, this is mine.
Right, I think that for next year, we need to break an episode of Red Dwarf Christmas special. That's what we should do for next year.
Yeah.
Let's break an episode.
Fine. You can lead on that one, Kurt.
Matt's is in the writing game, you know. He's got experience, you know. He can bring his expertise to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, indeed. Yeah, I need to dust off the old writing skills.
Did you used to write like shipper fiction or something, Matt?
No, I used to write like scripts and stuff, and it's a long story, but that's how I met Tony years and years ago. We was part of a script writing.
Viva el Presidente.
Yeah, of a online script writing community. So
That's really cool. So, like actual scripts rather than Lister and Rimmer snogging kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I did a couple of them. I mean, yeah, Tony used to write like loads. He had his own kind of Alias spin-off that had about 5 series worth of scripts. So it was like a proper 100 script series that he wrote and stuff. And I managed to write a pilot for a Demolition Man TV series. That's about it.
Nice. I mean, that kind of thing can work, though. I mean, look at 50 Shades of Grey. That was a Twilight fan fiction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it kept the theme of being utterly terrible.
Oh, yeah.
We've actually had this conversation on the podcast. I've already had a rant about fucking Twilight, and it's Christmas. Don't make me upset.
In fact, this conversation actually lasted longer than we've talked about Red Christmas as well. So it's
we're doing all
longer
right.
than it is to watch, definitely.
yeah.
You do a Twilight Christmas special where when they do sparkle, it's sort of red and green.
But right, I'm in charge here. This is my lead episode. No more fucking Twilight. It's Christmas. Don't make me angry.
That's another round of a Question of Dwarf.
Talking about a Question of Dwarf, I am now going to hand over to the lovely Matt Latham, who is our host for a Question of Dwarf. Take it away, Matt.
And I can't remember how it ends. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Question of Dwarf, where the tagline was something I should have thought about before now. So, for those of you who've not watched a Question of Dwarf before, you come to realise,
sport in my case.
yes, come to realise that it was named a Question of Dwarf because back in the 80s, when Series 1 was first being filmed in BBC Manchester, it was Red Dwarf and a Question of Sport. So I thought, oh, okay, Question of Dwarf will be a nice tribute to the beginning of the show itself. And then I thought, oh, okay, let's see if I can do some rounds. And I've come to realise that Question of Sport is the worst quiz show to try and ape rounds from. Because you've got the picture round, you've got the what happened next round, you've got the one where you just see like the clips of an ear and a mouth, and you have to guess who the person is. So I've had to
all very visual.
Yes,
We are an audio medium.
So
I'm an audio large.
Wow.
So we've had to. I've had to do a bit of creative license. So I've got 4 rounds of different kinds of rounds to get us started. But first, let's meet our teams. We've got our team captains. We've got Kurt North.
Hello, hello.
And where are you from, Kurt?
I am from Carlisle, waiting for the people from Glasgow to come down and watch the Rangers Celtic match on Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be such fun because all the pubs are shut.
And Kurt, who's on your team?
I don't know.
That'd be me.
I think it's Carl. Yes.
Carl, introduce you. What's your name? Where you from?
Hello, I'm Carl. I'm 38 and I'm a cancer from Derby.
Nice to meet you, Carl. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. And then on the other team, our team captain on the other side is Mark Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm worried I'm going to be shit at this.
Aren't we all?
Yep.
And as well, I bet the quiz as well. But
No.
and your teammate?
My teammate is Colin Jackson Brown from Nuneaton.
Well, I was born in Nuneaton. I'm from Tamworth and live in Birmingham. But I was only in Nuneaton. You only know I'm from Nuneaton because most of the guests on Life's Milestones have been born in Nuneaton, coincidentally, and I keep pointing it out.
Life's Milestones is a great podcast. People should listen to that too.
They should. Particularly my episode, which has got the least number of listens so far, I think.
That's it, really?
I think it had when I looked, but that's because I didn't tell anybody about it because it's the deepest podcast I've ever done and I wasn't doing, stupid shit in it.
I actually have a serious podcast. People find that really weird. I can't even think why.
Anyway, before we rabble on and start promoting each other's podcasts, which we might end up doing, let's move on to the first round. Now, first of 4 rounds. The first round is going to be general trivia, and this could end up being chaotic, but it's also the only round where teams will have to call out for an answer. So what I'm going to do is,
Do you know what we should do there? Just purely, I know it's not a visual medium. Is that we should each have a letter that we just hit on the keyboard on the chat, because then you can call it the first person that calls it.
yes, actually, yeah. Yeah, okay. So yeah, if you get the Discord chat, that's a point docked for Team Mark.
What? Good.
for bad conduct. I
thought you were going to say for bad conduct.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ask a question, and the first person to type their initial into the Discord chat, which is going to be great on an audio podcast, gets the chance to answer. So there's 10 questions. Get ready. Question 1. What was Lister going to name his sons?
Mark.
That was Carl.
Jim and Bexley.
Yes, well done.
Mark not quite got this yet.
I got it wrong. I shouted my name instead of putting my name in the chat. I got excited.
Name the actress originally cast to play Kachansky. And that was Kurt, I believe.
Claire Grogan.
Nope. Now, next person was Mark.
I thought it was Claire Grogan too. Shit.
Nope.
Oh, you're not allowed to swear on a BBC primetime, are you?
No. Don't worry. We can get we can write off the Ofcom fines on the We Made This on the account.
We're going to have to do a lot of lying to Tony after this episode.
So, Mark, are you going to answer?
No, I thought it was Claire Grogan.
No. Yep, and Colin is next.
Jeff Bridges.
You're close, but you're not quite right, and that leaves Carl. Carl, do you have an idea?
Beau Bridges.
No. The answer is actually Alexandra Pig.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which
Her
was
surname is Pig?
Yeah.
As
He
in
was
pig? As in...
P-I-double-G.
Poor cow? Well, poor pig.
Okay, question 3. What name does the sacred cat text use for Lister? Mark.
Cloister the stupid.
Yep. Question 4. Name the girl that Rimmer got off with in his father's greenhouse. Carl.
Fiona Barrington.
Yes.
We've done okay. We've at least answered them and not looked stupid. I'm impressed with everybody.
So, question 5. In which episode are we introduced to Crichton's heads? That was Mark.
I thought you were going to say Crichton, and I was going to say Crichton.
That might have been a little bit too easy.
I failed.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No. Okay, I'll move on to the next one, which was Kurt.
Why? No, it's gone. It's gone. Sorry.
You're not even going to guess?
I'm going to go for scholarship.
No, Carl, it's yours.
DNA.
Yes.
DNA.
It's when he gets changed into a human, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah. Okay. What is written on Lister's least smeggy shirt? Mark?
Is it something like "Don't shoot" or "Stand and deliver"?
I'll give you that. It's
shoot.
actually don't shoot, but
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
And he's got 2 of those shirts. He's got a yellow one and a white one that show up at various different times. That deserves a bonus point, surely.
I think so.
Carl, which team are you on again?
I'm with Kurt.
Yeah, but it was me that said it.
Ah, shit. It's okay. I've only just lost track of who's on who, and I might have put the scores in the wrong column.
Cool. I've got 12 points so far, if that helps.
Okay, I think I've got a handle on who's winning at the moment, but
Is this going to be like Shooting Stars scores?
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a serious quiz. Okay, get ready for question 7. What was the name of the band fronted by Claire Grogan? Carl?
Altered
It
images.
didn't go through.
Yeah.
Bollocks. My thing didn't go through, but I knew that one.
Okay, question 8. In Maroon, what food does Lister avoid eating by eating dog food? Mark?
It's a pot noodle.
Yes.
I haven't got anything funny to say about pot noodles, but I actually quite like pot noodles.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one criticism that I'll throw at Red Dwarf, the only criticism, is its anti-pot noodle stance.
See, I used to really like pot noodles, and then once I ate one when I was ill, and when it came back up, it was fucking identical, and that kind of put me off a little bit.
Charming.
Lovely. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Curry and pot mash and all that kind of stuff.
I remember pot mash.
Yeah.
They were horrible.
I remember I went to Euro Disney with college, and one of the lads brought a pot mash with him for some reason, and he poured the hot water in, and it expanded, and it just wouldn't stop. So we threw it in a bin, and it just kept going, about three times the size of the actual pot. Just like, how are we going to explain this one?
And it's still growing.
Probably.
The mash that ate Paris.
Probably turned it into
Like the mould that he was growing.
Yeah.
I was breeding that mould.
Okay, question 9. Fingers on initials. In Parallel Universe, what is in place of the inflatable banana? In Lister and Rimmer's bunk. In Parallel Universe, what is in the place of the inflatable banana? Colin?
Is it a pineapple?
No, unfortunately not. It's Kurt.
Is it an orange?
Nope, it's not. Carl or Mark, you can buzz in to steal. Mark?
Is it a kumquat?
It's not, no. And Carl?
It's not a peach, is it?
It's not. It's actually a die. It's actually dice.
Oh.
I was going to go for the Bolivian Navy on maneuvers in the South Pacific.
That would probably been a lot closer to what some of the other guesses were, but and finally, the final question of the first round and the last of the fingers on buzzers rounds. What is the name of Lister's avatar in Gunman of the Apocalypse? Mark?
Brett Riverboat, Knife Man.
Yes, well done, Mark.
That's no surprise you got that.
Yeah.
My favourite episode. It is an unfair advantage, don't care.
Okay, so
What are the scores on the doors?
if my buggering things are buggering things up, all right. Currently, both teams are on 4 points each.
Ooh.
Right, okay, so we're going to move to round 2, which is the home or away round. Now, usually in Question of Sport, this would be a home question, would be some to do with the guests' chosen sport. So they'll probably ask Eric Cantona a question on football, or sometimes if they choose away, they would be asked a question on another sport. So Serena Williams will be asked about tiddlywinks. So, but I've made it slightly different. So I've got 4 home questions and I've got 4 away questions. So I'm going to ask someone to pick a number 1 to 4 and answer a home question, and then once everyone's answered one question, I'm going to move to the away questions, which are going to be about a guest star, kind of almost general knowledge question on a guest star that appeared on Red Dwarf. So now I was going to go for whoever's in the lead, but currently tied. So,
do it alphabetically, Matt. Whatever.
Yeah, so I was going to go alphabetically, and then realised that there are 2 people that start with the letter C. So, yes. So, Carl, you're first. So, pick a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3. What is the name of Robert Llewellyn's YouTube series?
Fully Charged.
Correct. So, Colin, 1, 2, or 4?
2.
Which British adventure game does Chris Barry voice the lead character? In which British adventure game does Chris Barry voice the lead character?
I have no idea because I've not played it, whatever it is. Is it... yeah, I haven't got a clue.
Okay, so you're on Mark's team, so I'm going to move it to the other team for a chance to steal.
Is it Simon the Sorcerer?
Yes, it is. It's Simon the Sorcerer.
Fuck.
Oh,
Carl, I love you.
Yeah.
You can tell me and Mark are like just the hosts.
Hey, I got three in the last round. I did all right.
I did
better
shit.
than I did.
Better I did.
Okay, next is Kurt. Kurt, 1 or 4?
4.
4. Craig Charles spent a duration of 10 years on Coronation Street. What was his character's full name?
Oh, fuck off.
That would have been my response too, Kurt. Just so you know.
I know, it's like Terence Mafeed. I don't know.
I'm going to move it to Mark's team.
Well, it's not me, is it?
Was it Deirdre Barlow? It's the only Coronation Street character I know the name of, so, I just took a punt.
See, I would at least thought you would have got Lloyd.
Nope.
No.
Lloyd Mullaney.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark, you've got home 1. So, who does Danny John Jules play in Maid Marian and His Merry Men?
Oh, you better get this one.
Shit. I've got a podcast about kids telly and I don't know the answer. Isn't it something vaguely racist, like Winston or something like that?
No.
Can Colin answer it for me? He's on my team.
No, if you don't get it, I'm going to move to the other team. If the other team don't get it, Colin can try and regain the points.
I'm not going to get it.
You're going to get
Mark, I'm just going to text you, just completely unrelated.
it. Kurt, Carl?
Barrington.
Yes.
Which was chosen because they originally wanted to call him Winston, and Danny John Jules pointed out that was such a stereotypical name for a Caribbean character and said, why don't you go with Barrington? Nobody's ever called a TV character that, but there's plenty of people that would have that name.
So I was kind of close.
You were, well, when you say close, you were the opposite, but yeah.
Can I have the points?
Unfortunately not. I was only going to accept Barrington. So, okay, so we're going on to the way questions. And
those were the home questions.
I know.
Oh, fuck.
So what I'm going to do, actually, is because Kurt's team has just got 3 points on the home questions, I'm going to, Kurt or Carl, whoever wants to go first, between the two of you.
Go on, I'll
choose
go.
a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3. And is that you, Kurt?
Yeah.
3. Sarah Alexander, who played the Queen in Stoke Me a Clipper, was in Rob Grant's 1999 Sky One show. What was the name of the show?
No idea. Admit one.
No. Okay. Mark, Colin?
No clue.
No clue.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 7, The Revenge.
Nope. And I'm going to give it back to Carl.
Strangerers.
Yes.
Shit or brick.
It was written by Rob Grant.
Jack Doherty and Mark Williams as aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was also really, really bad.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so that was Kurt. So I'm going to throw it to Mark and Colin. If you want to nominate, who wants to choose 1, 2, or 4?
I'll go for 1 because I should have gone for 1 last time.
Okay. Don Warrington played Commander Binks in Hollow Ship. What show does he appear with another Red Dwarf regular?
Just trying to picture. Yeah, right. I know the guy that we're talking about. No, Coronation Street.
No. Kurt?
No idea.
No idea? Mark? Okay, I'm going to throw it back to Mark.
I remember the scene and it was brilliant. And Craig Charles
Why the fuck did he eat that
actually
cigarette?
ate the cigarette that was in the Smeg-Ups, but I haven't got a fucking clue to answer the question.
No one? I'm going to give you...
Yeah. Are they in Death in Paradise?
Yeah.
With
Carl!
Guts?
So every year we do this, Carl's my teammate, right?
next year it's going to be Carl versus the three of you.
Now that works.
It's like,
Next year I'm doing the
Egghead.
questions.
Death in Paradise, also starring, and I think still the longest running cast member of it is Danny Don Jules. For no extra points, anyone know the name of Danny Don Jules' character?
Barrington.
Dwayne.
No, it's actually Dwayne.
Love it.
Brilliant.
So that was Colin. So Carl, 2 or 4?
2, please.
Name the TV show starring Mark Williams. Name the BBC daytime TV show starring Mark Williams as a very unlikely amateur detective.
Father Brown?
Yeah.
Did you leave the house, Carl?
Yeah. Do you know the fun bit? I don't watch much telly.
You watch more than I bloody do.
Right, okay, Mark.
Number 4, obviously.
Yeah.
Is it going to be some random question about a character I can't even remember?
It has nothing to do with Red Dwarf, just wanted to guest star in it. So Timothy Spall from Back to Reality has, according to IMDb, played which historical figure on at least 3 occasions?
Fucking hell. Well, he was in North Weeder's Own Pet, and he was in the Harry Potter films, and I haven't got a fucking clue.
I've got a note to finish. I've got a note to finish the question. 2 are voice only. 1 was in live action. Do you want to?
Henry VIII.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Carl?
Did he play Churchill?
And that's another point for...
For fuck's sake.
I'm on his team and I'm going for fuck's sake.
I was guessing that.
So, at the end of the scores at round 2 meant that Mark had 0 and Carl had 7. Overall, that means Mark is on 4 and Kurt is on 11.
Do you know the one thing I was a bit disappointed that you didn't ask the question of, which I probably the only one I would have ever got, is in Gunman the Apocalypse, the TV show with the woman in the car.
Okay.
Do you know that woman? What TV show that woman was? It was in the car that he was making love to.
Yeah.
Spats.
Spats, correct. That's the only thing I would have got.
I used to hate that.
Yeah, not having that on my show. Crap.
Well, at the moment I'm running this, and we're going to turn this into a quiz about spats now.
No.
This is round 3 is what I now refer to as the Smeggy round, and quite possibly the reason why I will never be invited back onto this. This is the kind of nearly, possibly depending on certain things, general knowledge-ish round.
We're in trouble, Colin.
You were selling it so well.
It's also going to cause Mark to swear at me. So I've got okay. So I'm going to make this. I need a pen for this bit. Right. Okay. So I have got 4 cleverly, very, very cleverly done and well thought out.
If you say so
question
yourself.
Titles. Now, what's going to happen is, one person is going to be asked, is going to have a kind of challenge, and no other team have got a chance to steal. So what's going to happen is I'm going to name these 4. Someone's going to choose one of them, and they're going to choose. Once I read the names out, they're going to kind of wager 1 to 5 answers, because there's like multiple answers for these questions. If someone says, "Oh, I'm going to guess 5," and get to a 5 right, you get 5 points. For every question you get wrong, you're going to deduct a point.
Okay, and is Carl doing my entire round for me?
Unfortunately not, no.
I would like to point out I'm terrible at like the majority of other subjects. I'm quite just all right at this.
Okay, so but I'm going to give people the chance to choose if they're going to wager 1 point or 5 points. So
Okay.
you can name. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So the four categories are Barry on Rimmer, Gotta Love It, Danny John Crown Jewels, and Robot Dwarfs. And the amount of times I've tried to practice that last one. So Robot Dwarfs. Okay. So going on scores, it is Kurt and Carl. Or Carl
Right.
plus Kurt.
So how many points are up for grabs here, and can they steal at this point? Can they win at this point?
Teams won't be able to steal.
No, but it's what 11 till 4. You say?
Yeah. Well, it
They'd
depends.
only get 9 points maximum, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So
Are
there's.
you saying you've already won?
I'm just.
No, there's
I'm just putting it
still a
out there.
chance. No, there's still a chance to for Mark and Colin to regain some ground. So, Kurt and
That wasn't a no, was it? That was.
Kurt and Carl. Which one of you wants to go first?
I can go first. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
Carl-
can get first. I did lots of swatting for the quiz, and I'm looking dead clever and shit.
Okay, Carl,
Not that I'm
you've got-
bitter.
Carl, you've got Barry on Rimmer, Gotta Love It, Danny John Crown Jewels, and Robot Dwarfs.
Danny John Crown Jewels, please.
Okay, so Danny John Crown Jewels. Okay, so how many? I'm not going to tell you what the question is, but are you going to wager? How many points are you going to wager?
3.
3. Okay, so Danny John Jules. So Danny John Jules, as we said, played Barrington in Maid Marian and His Merry Men, and Crown Jewels. Crown Jewels belong to the royal family. A character in Maid Marian and His Merry Men, well, the whole of the Robin Hood franchise, is King John. Now, Carl, I need you to name 3 actors who have played King John in cinema, live action, or for animation.
Right.
If it helps, this is the most difficult one out of the 4 of them.
Okay.
Thank fuck for that.
I've sent you IMDb, Carl.
No Googling.
No, I'm trying.
Yes.
Who's editing this one?
Carl.
You just use the truncate silence bit in Audacity, don't you?
I genuinely can't think of any.
You can't
What? That wasn't explained to us.
Yeah, it was.
any wrong answer is a deduction of points.
He said that. I remember he said
He did.
that.
One
He said
thing
that.
I completely forgot to put on in the start of it is that I decided to try and do a round that I believe Rimmer would have created. So
Yeah, I can't think of any King Johns. Let's say I can think of like when there was like King Richard in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, but I can't think of any King Johns.
That's a good Christmas link, that, isn't it? Alan Rickman.
Die Hard is definitely a Christmas film.
Yeah,
So's Gremlins.
definitely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
No, I can't think of any.
Cool.
okay, so that is -3.
One was a lion. I know that much.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple.
An
I've got
actual lion.
there's been quite a few, but a few of the more high profile
Seen it in
ones.
a
So
documentary.
P.T. Ustinov was the voice of Prince John in the animated Robin Hood, who was the lion. Ian Holm played him in 1976. Edward Fox in Robin Hood in 1991. Richard Lewis played him in Men in Tights. Oscar Isaac played him in Ridley Scott's Robin Hood. Paul Giamatti played him in Ironclad. And John Michael Higgins was probably the voice for John in the Warner Brothers animated film Tom and Jerry, Robin Hood and His Merry Mouse. So, and there's
hell.
loads more. There's loads more. There's like all the way back to Herbert Beerhome Tree in the silent short King John in 1899, and there's like about at least another 10 more that I've gone through. So the Danny John Crown Jewels is gone. So we're going to move to Mark and Colin. So who's gonna go next between Mark and Colin?
Go for it, Colin.
All right.
Okay, so you've got Barry on Rimmer, Gotta Love It, or Robot Dwarfs.
I
Go
think
for
we
it.
should definitely leave Robot Dwarfs last because he struggles so much with it.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I think Barry on Rimmer.
Barry on Rimmer. Okay, so Barry on Rimmer, what are you going to wager? I'll remind you, you've got 4 points at the moment.
No, they've got 7, haven't they now?
No, we
no.
haven't stolen yours. You've just lost them.
Oh, 11, 10, 9, 8. 4 till 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we go for 2?
I was thinking 2.
Yeah, let's go for 2.
Chris Barry, well known for his Kenneth Williams impression. So, matron, and that kind of stuff. Kenneth Williams was also in the Carry On films. There are, in the 1960s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 Carry On films in the 1960s. Name 2 of them.
Right. I need to think about my granddad's video collection because they are all on the shelf, so I've got to visualise them.
The 60s ones only.
60s. Carry On Cleo would have been 60s.
Yes, that's 1 point.
I reckon Screaming was 60s as well.
Yes, as well. Yes, that was 1966. Carry On Cleo was 1964, and Carry On Screaming was 1966. So that's 2 points, Colin.
Well done.
So
Excellent. My step granddad's video collection does have a purpose.
Yeah. Anyone? I mean, not going to get any points for it, but anyone else want to guess it? I might quickly read through them. Anyone want to make a
Carry On,
guess?
Doctor.
Carry On Doctor. Yes,
Carry On
Doctor.
That was an
Cabby?
early one, wasn't it?
Carry On 1967. Which one was that? Sorry, Colin.
Cabby?
No.
No. I would have lost then. Shit.
Camping.
So there's Carry On Constable in 1960. Carry On Regardless. Carry On.
Carrying Up the
Cruising.
Khyber.
Yes, that was 1968. There's Carry On Again, Doctor, which was 1969. Carry On Camping.
Where was
69.
Camping? Yeah.
69.
Right.
Of course
Don't
it
Lose
was.
Your Head. Follow That Camel. Cowboy. Screaming, Spying, Jack. Yeah. So that's 2. So,
Cool.
What was you saying, Colin?
I was just saying, cool.
Cool. Oh, sorry. But yeah, so I think you could have been able to get a few of them. So next we're going to have Kurt. Kurt, okay. So Gotta Love It or Robot Dwarfs?
What do you think, Carl? 2 points because it'll put us on an even standing, won't it? To steal it.
You need to pick a topic first.
I know.
Gotta Love It or Robot Dwarfs?
I'm going to go for Robot Dwarfs.
Robot Dwarfs. So how many are you going to go for?
2.
2. Right. And for me, because I know the answers, to me, I thought this was the... No, actually, it's not the easiest. But series 2 to 7 of a 6 series of Robot Wars had 5 robots win. Name 2 of them.
No idea.
I would have liked this one. Can I steal anything, Matt?
Unfortunately not.
No. I'm going to just guess RoboCop. You've got me completely there.
Can I have a guess for no points?
Yeah, are you conceding, Kurt?
Yeah, I'm going to have to concede. I've got no idea.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'd have
5
gone for
robots.
Razor and Hypnodisc.
Razor, yes. Hypnodisc, no. Hypnodisc never won.
Good grief. So I'd have got 1 point. Well, I got no points because I got 1 right and 1 wrong, wouldn't I?
What about Sir Kill-A-Lot?
No, he was a house robot.
House robot. The answers were Panic Attack, Chaos 2, won it 2 years on the trot, Razor, Tornado, and Typhoon 2. Hypnodisc was runner-up in Series 3 and 4th place in Series 4 and 5.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode of Robot Wars.
So, Mark,
Right.
you've got Gotta Love It.
So they've done really badly and lost points, and we've gained 2. So I'm going to be super cautious because I don't know anything else that Norman Lovett has been in.
What are the scores?
Yeah, what are the scores now?
I'm not telling you the scores. Trust me.
Well, they've lost at least 4 points, and we've gained 2. So I'm just going to say 1 on this because I don't know much about Norman Lovett.
Oh, Mark.
What?
Gotta Love It. Okay. There's at least 5 instances of recasting of characters on Red Dwarf. Name one of them.
Chloe Annette replaced Claire Grogan as Kachansky.
That's 1 point. Well done.
I wouldn't have got more than that as well, so I'm glad I went for 1.
You wouldn't have got Crichton.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Holly.
So
Yeah,
you've got,
Holly.
yeah. So you got the person at the right. So okay, you've got Holly, which was Hattie Abridge and Norman Lovett. You got Crichton, David Ross, and Robert Llewellyn, which you've got Claire Grogan and Chloe Nett. You got Talkie Toaster,
Yes.
who was John Lenihan and David Ross. And finally, you got Rimmer's dad, who was played by John Abernethy and then Simon Treves.
Would I have got it if I hadn't known the actor's name?
No,
There we
I
go.
probably
I did.
yeah. What I should have said, if you'd picked more than one, he's saying I wouldn't have accepted anything apart from the characters and the full names of the ones. But so let's have a look at the scores, shall we?
We did well, Colin.
Right. So last place on that round was Kurt and Carl with -5, and leading with 3 points is Mark and Colin. And how does that affect the scores? Well, Kurt and Carl have 6 points, and Mark and Colin have 7.
Yay!
Oh.
And that was the Smeggy round.
I thought that round was excellent.
Yes, I agree. Better than the other two.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm coming back for season 3 then. Right. So this is the question. This is the quiz that the round that I need to kind of be on my game at, and hope that there's enough to last both rounds. Okay. So the final round is complete that quote.
Oh, no.
Oh dear.
What's going to happen is I'm going to go through the never mind the Buzzcocks route, where I've got a list of kind of quotes, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to have 60 seconds on the clock, and what's going to happen is I'm in 60 seconds. Both team, one team will have the chance. I'll be reading the quote, and you've got to complete it. So I'll be asking the one team. So, for example, first off will be, because they're in the lead, Mark and Carl. Now, what am I talking about? Mark and Colin. Too many C's. Mark and Colin. Look, I'll give you 6 seconds, and you both will try and complete the quote.
Can we pass without being penalised?
Yes.
Cool.
I was suddenly then getting really, really paranoid that I might not be still. That should be enough. Okay, so yeah, basically, each team will get 60 seconds. I'm going to start reading some quotes off, and it will be up to you to get them right, complete them correctly. You okay?
Gotcha.
Okay, so Mark and Colin, you're going to go first, and your time starts now. 6 breasts. Imagine making love to a woman with 6 breasts.
Pass.
Imagine making love to a woman.
But it's a technique that can work. I should know. I use the same method myself to become captain. If the crew discover...
I've completely blanked on everything. What's Red Dwarf?
Pass.
I'm really just Dennis the Donut Boy. I'm finished. Ascension Sunday. Ascension Sunday.
It's the quote about why they say that instead of Mayday, but I can't remember the exact wording, so that's helpful.
Pass.
15th Wednesday after Pentecost. 15th Wednesday after Pentecost.
That's
And you
it.
can't confuse Rimmer with a book.
A book's got depth. Something like that.
For a start, a book's got a spine. What the hell
Yeah.
happened to my teeth? What the hell happened to my teeth?
Fuck pass. This is embarrassing.
Technician was the lowest rank on this ship. And that's it.
The service droids were...
The man who changed the bog rolls was higher than us.
Fuck.
Okay, I am no longer paranoid about running out of quotes.
Could you not have started with Smoke Me a Kipper? We could have got that one.
I'll be back for Christmas.
See? Told you.
That he might be signing off with that.
See, I didn't go for the obvious ones because I'm assuming because we run a Red Dwarf podcast that some of the
No,
more...
don't assume that. I don't know. It's not all about Red Dwarf.
Right, I'm hoping that they get none as well, although Carl is on their team. Shit.
Can I just point out I have a brain injury?
Right. Okay. So, Kurt, Carl,
Mhm.
You just need to get one. Just please get one.
No, it's 1 to draw and 2 to win, isn't it?
Yeah, so don't get
2
any.
to win. Actually, yes, 2 to win. But I just want to get one, just to put my faith back in. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. It leaves us floating aimlessly in space with no navigation and a rapidly diminishing emergency power supply.
It leaves us up diarrhea, drive without a saddle.
Yes. No way are these my boxer shorts.
These bend.
Yeah. I hate your guitar. If I wanted to share a cell with an irritating lump of wood,
Pass.
I would have moved in with Australian Substar. I probably wouldn't have chosen you as friends, but I just want to say that over the years,
I've regard you as people I met.
yeah, spin my nipple nuts.
Send me to Alaska.
Yeah. Croydon, you have a real gift.
Pass.
You make things that are really, really complicated sound really, really complicated. Stop your fell whining.
I'll pass.
You filthy piece of distended rectum. Are there no others who shared moments of intimacy with him?
Only one, but she's got a puncture.
Yeah. They've taken Mr. Rimmer.
Quick, let's get out of here before they bring him back.
I want you to think of me as someone who's dead.
More than someone who's not a threat to your
No,
marriage.
that's it. That's over. I'm not going to accept that. And that's it. So that was...
I'd have known 4 in that lot. That's really
I would
annoying.
have known 4 in that as well.
I would have known 4 in that lot as well.
That's. I hate Christmas.
So,
I'm just happy I got one.
So during that round, Mark and Colin got
Fuck all.
Quite.
and the attendance, whilst Carl and
Kurt.
I forgot what the case stood for.
That's the best bit.
It's okay if you just quiz me on the names of the regulars. I would get noughts as well on the round. Yes, so yeah, that was 6 for that round. So, and what does that leave the scores? So, what the scores? George Dawes. Oh, he's not here. So, what the scores me? So, in last place, being demoted all the way down to second technician, are Mark and Colin with 7, and rising up the ranks to Admiral, Kurt and Carl with 12. So they are our winners. Yay!
Hey.
Meh.
Right, okay. Now, round 5. No, I'm joking. So that was a question of Dwarf. I really hope you had fun. Apart from perhaps
It was
Mark
shit.
and and
So
thank you ever so much for taking part and being part of this great Christmas special with the Christmas Question of Dwarf. And quite possibly this will be the last time you see me because Mark probably might murder me. But
No, I just call bias, and that's fine. I'd have done the same.
Is this revenge for me? Is this revenge for me always picking very long songs to go on your playlist on Pick a Disc?
yes, I've only played that playlist once and it hasn't finished yet. And yeah, so that's it. I now hand control of the podcast back to Mark. Catch.
Thank you for joining us for the Christmas special of Shipwrecked and Comatose. We have far too many podcasts and far too many things to talk about to say where can you find us on the internet this time. Fuck that. You want to go and eat your turkey.
I can't even start with mine. Well, there's more than one.
So thank you, Kurt.
Thank you for a great time. Loved it. Great.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin.
That was shit. I'm not coming back.
Oh, dear. Thank you, Matt.
No problem. Glad to be here.
And from all of us here on Shipwrecked and Comatose, Merry Christmas.
Happy October.
Edit him.
Elsewhere on We Made This. Observing the Pattern, a Fringe podcast.
Yes, and it speaks a little bit to, Walter's mindset now, which is, this is his Peter now. So.
Yeah. That's interesting. And I think the line, what that line is trying to kind of put across is that there may be some behaviour or the way this Walter speaks that's different to alternate.
Right, and that was my thought too. Like maybe just the subtle differences. You know, young Peter notices those things, but it was just a weird way for young Peter to voice those thoughts. I thought.
Yeah.
So.
Pick a disc.
All of the songs, you know, not thinking about I Write Sins, which, like you said, I think everyone knows all the words to that song, whether they want to or not. But when, if I'm cleaning the kitchen or something and London Beacon comes on shuffle, like it amazes me, you know, we're coming up on 15 years from when that record came out, that I can just like belt out the words without even realizing that I have them like stored away somewhere in my brain. And I think that's because the song flows so well that it sticks with you.
Right in the childhood.
Bit of a twist, wasn't it? That like, well, I think we're going back to it again, but like everyone knew she was Kim Possible. It's like it would make sense as well because it wasn't like she was even wearing a disguise or anything, and like the whole school knew. But it was that thing of like she can save the day by night, but couldn't ask the boy out.
It's actually quite an original take. Even stuff like Buffy, nobody knew she was the Slayer until much later on.
I'm glad they sort of got rid of that.
Check out all of these shows and more on the We Made This podcast network.
Shipwrecked and Comatose, a Red Dwarf podcast, was created and produced by Mark Adams and Kurt North. You can find us on Twitter at Red Dwarf Pod, and we are part of the We Made This podcast network, which can be found online at wemadethispod.com or on Twitter at We Made This Pod.